What if I told you the secret to waking up refreshed isn't about getting 8 hours of sleep at all? For most of my life, I thought clocking more hours was the solution. Turns out I was just crashing in the middle of the wrong scene. Here's the science. Sleep isn't a blank stretch of unconsciousness. It's structured in cycles, about 90 minutes each. You drop into light sleep, descend into deeper stages, dream, then return close to waking all before the cycle starts over. You repeat this rhythm maybe 4 or 5 times a night. But here's what's counterintuitive. Waking up at the end of a cycle, even with fewer total hours, feels better than being ripped out of deep sleep mid-cycle, no matter how long you spent in bed. It's as if you're leaving the movie theater after the credits roll, instead of during a dramatic scene with the music blaring. Let's make this practical. Tomorrow, don't set your alarm for a random number. After you lie down, try to time your alarm or wake-up routine at a multiple of 90 minutes, like 6 hours, 7.5, or 9 hours from now. Yes, even a nap. Try 90 minutes, not 30. Your odds of waking up clear-headed just improved. People who travel constantly, juggle night shifts, or live on creative deadlines already use this hack. The benefit: no more sleep hangovers. Instead, you're likely to wake at the natural end of a cycle, when your brain is primed to re-enter the world. If you're skeptical, you're not alone. Tracked my own cycles for a month and was shocked by how often I woke up groggy just because I interrupted a rhythm, not because I was underrested. So here's my challenge for you. For the next 3 nights, pick your bedtime, then count forward by 90-minute blocks before you set that alarm. Notice the difference in your morning mood. Even make notes. Does timing beat total hours for you? Post your results in the comments or share your story with a friend. This is cheat code. It's not about more sleep. It's about better timed sleep. Mastering your body's sleep cycles gives you an edge. But what if you're still wide awake when your head hits the pillow? Even perfect timing can't overcome a restless mind. If you find your thoughts circling and sleep staying out of reach, it's time for an internal reset. Our next technique teaches you to use your own breath as a tool for peace, triggering relaxation on command. The 478 Breath Unlock. Here's a question. When you're wide awake at 2 a.m. with your mind spinning about tomorrow's deadlines, does focusing on your breath actually matter, or is it just another sleep gimmick? Let's look at the real story. The 478 breathing technique isn't Instagram hype. It's a method backed by real clinical psychology and sleep medicine. The pattern is simple. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 7 seconds, just long enough for things to feel slow. Then exhale out of your mouth for a full 8 seconds, as though you're blowing away static. It sounds so basic, but the science here is compelling. This sequence activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the side of your brain responsible for calm, for rest and digest. It slows your heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and cues nearly every part of your body to relax. In studies, patients practicing this breath saw quicker sleep onset and less tossing, less turning. Think about it. Navy SEALs, high-performance athletes, and even CEOs use controlled breath before high-stakes moments. But it's not just for stress, it's for transition, the shift from doing to resting. I've tested it myself during bouts of insomnia after about 5 rounds. There's a near-immediate sense of relief, a softening of mental noise. Hear how you use the code tonight. Lie down, relax, place one hand lightly on your belly and notice its movement. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold for 7. Breathe out, slow and steady, for 8. Even if you don't fall asleep instantly, your body will begin to recognize the signal. Sleep is coming. So this week, give it 3 nights. Don't judge the outcome too soon, just pay attention to your heart rate, your sense of calm, whether you toss and turn or slip into rest. If it works, add your notes to the comments below. And if it doesn't, tweak the numbers. Sometimes a 3-6-7 feels even easier. The 478 breath isn't magic's a cheat code embedded in your biology. Even with our breath slowed and steady, some nights, The bed still feels like a battleground, the place where frustration builds. It's easy to forget, but your body learns what the bed means through repetition. If even the calmest breathing leaves you awake and restless, perhaps it's time for a new rule. Our next technique shows how a subtle change in habit can retrain your brain and break free from this cycle. The bed reset trick. Let me guess. At some point, you've stared at the ceiling for what feels like hours, in a bed that suddenly feels like the least restful place on earth. You remind yourself, just relax, but somehow that cue just loops your anxiety instead. Here, what almost nobody tells you: the longer you're awake in bed, the more your brain learns this is a place to think, not to sleep. Consider Pavlov's repeated pairings of habits. With sleep, if you regularly lie awake frustrated, your mind rewires. Bed equals alertness. That's why for insomniacs and even casual night owls, the struggle compounds. Science has a counterintuitive fix. If you're tossing and turning for more than 20 minutes, get up. Don't doom scroll, don't blast the lights, just quietly leave the room, read a dull book, scribble down the looping thought, or sip a glass of water in a soft lamplight. When you finally feel that slow, heavy pull back to sleep, return to bed. This is called a stimulus control approach, and it's been shown in sleep labs to restore the connection between bed and sleep within just a week or two, sometimes faster. You're retraining your mind. Bed is for sleep, not for rumination. I know. It feels weirdly effortful to climb out of bed when you just want to drift off. But the truth is, lingering in bed when you're wide awake just digs the association deeper, night after night. In my own experiment, this single habit change broke a cycle of restless nights I'd fought for months. So if you find yourself locked in toss and turn mode, give yourself permission to start the reset. Blame, no drama. And if you're curious, chart your sleep quality before and after you try it. The results might surprise you. The bed reset isn't about quitting on sleep. It's about restoring your mental shortcut for real rest. Getting out of bed to reset your sleep association may feel counterintuitive, but sometimes it's necessary to break the pattern. Yet, as you return to bed, comfort and sensation become vital once again. Small physical cues can tip your body either toward rest or more alertness. The next technique leans on simple warmth sometimes. Your feet hold the secret to deeper sleep. The warm feet shortcut. Here's an odd little fact. Scientists have found that putting on socks at night can help you fall asleep faster. Sounds like something your grandmother might say, right? But there's real biology behind it. Picture this: all day, your feet absorb stress from standing, running, and packing. By night, they're your temperature regulators. When you warm your feet with socks, a heated water bottle, or even a warm bath, it triggers blood vessels in your extremities to widen, a process called vasodilation. This cooling of your body's core actually signals sleep to begin. It's more than comfort. Studies show people with warm feet at bedtime fall asleep about 15 minutes faster on average. Why? Melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone, rises when your core temperature drops a little, and the easiest way to kickstart that drop is by gently warming your feet. I've talked to Olympic athletes, doctors, and frequent flyers who swear by this hack. Socks, slippers, hot water. The ritual varies, but the logic stands. Even sleep clinics recommend a sock test for anyone struggling with difficult nights. So tonight, whether it's summer or winter, try slipping into your softest socks or holding a warm bottle to the soles before bed. If you're a skeptic, track your sleep for a week: warm feet versus bare feet. Odds are you'll notice, even if just in the time it takes to drift off or the depth at which you sleep. The takeaway: sometimes the best sleep supplements are free, intuitive, and remarkably effective. Your grandmother and science are both right. The warm feet shortcut is one of sleep's simple, reliable hacks. Try it, measure it, and see for yourself. So you've created warmth and comfort, sending quiet signals to your body. But if your mind is still racing with tasks undone and worries unresolved, deeper sleep will stay out of reach. That's the puzzle we now face. Can letting go really be so simple? The next technique is both a practical and surprisingly profound way to offload mental clutter right before drifting off. The mind dump release. Let's be honest. Most of us have tried counting sheep, but somehow the real challenge is counting worries, unfinished tasks, or random memories that start swirling as soon as the lights go out. Why does your mind pick bedtime to unload its to-do playlist? Researchers in neuropsychology call this sleep-interfering cognitive arousal. In plain terms, your brain refuses to power down when loose ends remain untied. Enter the mind dump, a dead simple tool used in cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. Here's the process. Keep a notebook or scrap of paper by your bed. Right before sleep, jot down anything pressing, emails you didn't send, meetings you're dreading, even what groceries you need next week. Don't organize. Don't edit. Just write until you feel the thoughts begin to slow. When you commit these swirling worries to paper, your brain receives permission to forget them until morning. The simple act of writing taps the brain's working memory, signaling that tasks have been dealt with even temporarily. I've seen this hack work for college students in exam week, founders deep in project mode, and parents with packed schedules. Across dozens of studies, researchers find that people who do a mind dump fall asleep up to 30% faster and report higher sleep satisfaction. If journaling feels awkward, try an audio note or even a digital dump in your phone, though avoid screen time if you're screen sensitive. The point isn't perfect organization. It's giving your mind a place to set down worries, close the loop, and turn toward rest. Why does it matter? Because sleep is not only about the body, it's the mind's time to recharge, file memories, and make sense of what happened. Just a minute or two of intentional unloading makes clarity, not clutter, your final thought. The mind dump release is your shortcut to mental quiet. Try it for 7 nights and chart your results. Unloading your mind onto paper helps clear away the day's worries, but sometimes silence invites new stories, loops of memory, possibility, or even anxiety. If you find yourself narrating imaginary scenarios after you put the notebook down, you're not alone. The key is to harness your imagination, gently steering it in a direction that supports rest. Our next technique uses a story as an anchor, guiding your mind into peaceful repetition, rather than restless wandering. The story anchor. Ever notice how your brain loves stories, especially the ones you tell yourself right before sleep? Maybe you replay a conversation from earlier, imagine a scenario that never happened, or spiral through what-ifs. This tendency isn't random. It's how your mind organizes and processes experience. Here's the cheat code. Instead of letting your mind spiral through anxieties, anchor it to a simple, calming story loop. Sleep scientists call this imagery distraction, a way to redirect mental energy away from stress and toward peace. Here, what works best. Choose a gentle, repetitive narrative. Picture yourself strolling down a quiet path, stacking books in a sunlit library, folding laundry in slow motion. Keep the details soft and simple, no suspense. The more monotonous, the better. Research shows that focusing on a neutral, non-stimulating scenario deactivates the brain's default network part responsible for rumination. In MRI studies, subjects using story anchors showed less nighttime anxiety and entered deep sleep faster. Even seasoned insomniacs improved with nightly story practice. In my experiments, this technique shines when used with light visualization, imagining the feeling of carpet underfoot, the faint scent of paper, or the hush of a peaceful environment. Each time your mind wanders, gently return to your story loop. Over days and weeks, your brain learns. This is the pathway to rest. The best stories are easy to repeat and nearly boring by design. Some listeners use slow counting, others a favorite place, others a calming TV rerun remembered in fragments. The aim isn't perfect, But a regular anchor is a quiet mental cue that tells your brain, it's time to let go. The story anchor is your nightly ticket to setting worries aside. Pick your loop and practice tonight. Even when you anchor your thoughts with a story, your environment can still keep you awake. You might find relaxation in your mind, but if your room is bathed in light, sleep might not arrive. That persistent brightness can interfere with natural rhythms. The next technique addresses this, showing how adjusting your room's lighting signals your brain that it's time to wind down. The light switch rule. Ever wonder why your phone, TV, and even bedside lamp seem to sabotage your sleep even when you're exhausted? It turns out light isn't just about seeing. It influences your sleep hormones and circadian rhythm far more than most people realize. Let's break it down. Exposure to bright blue spectrum light in the evening suppresses melatonin, the hormone your brain releases naturally to make you feel sleepy. Historically, humans wound down by firelight or moonlight, both low on the blue spectrum and ideal for transition into sleep. But nowadays, streetlights, screen glow, and overhead LEDs hijack our sleep signals. Here's the cheat code. About an hour before bed, consciously dim your lights. Swap to soft, warm bulbs. Turn off harsh overheads. If you need to use screens, activate night mode or blue light filters. Your goal: cue your nervous system that daytime is ending. Clinical research has proven that reducing light exposure for even just 60 minutes before bed can translate to faster sleep onset, deeper sleep, and improved next-day alertness. Melatonin rises as darkness falls, not just outside, but especially inside your home. In my own experience, setting a light curfew retrained my body to expect rest. Friends with insomnia claim the habit made the single biggest difference in breaking cycles of poor sleep, sometimes even more than supplements or meditation. The trick is consistency. Try a lights low ritual for 7 straight nights. Notice if your bedtime gets easier. If you have trouble waking up, check your morning routine too. Bright light as early as possible for alertness. The light switch rule is about mastering your environment so biology, not screens, decides bedtime. Flip the switch tonight and log your results. You've dimmed the lights and set the mood for rest, but sometimes your body still holds onto the day's tension. Physical stress doesn't always respond to ambience alone. If muscles resist letting go and relaxation feels out of reach, warmth may offer a solution. Our next method uses an evening shower to prompt release and invite sleep more quickly. The shower hack. Is a hot shower before bed just about feeling clean, or could it be a scientifically proven sleep tool? Let's dive in. Turns out that evening rinse isn't just a habit, it's a biological reset button for your entire system. Here's the science. When you step into a warm shower, your skin heats up and your blood vessels dilate. As you step out and the cool air meets your skin, your body experiences a sudden core temperature drop. That shift tricks your brain into releasing melatonin, your built-in sleep hormone, just like the sun setting told your ancient ancestors it was time to sleep. Researchers have tracked hundreds of people in sleep labs, the ones who took a warm, not hot, shower or bath 60-90 minutes before bed fell asleep faster and experienced deeper sleep cycles. It's so reliable, it's now a first-line recommendation in behavioral sleep medicine programs for insomniacs. But what if you don't like showers at night or you're traveling? Even a simple ritual, washing your face and hands with warm water, then sitting quietly as your skin cools, yields a milder version of the same benefit. In my own sleep experiments, a quick evening rinse became a mental cue as much as a physical one. Athletes and high-pressure performers use showers as a let-go-of-the-day ritual, washing off tension, both literally and emotionally. Here's your challenge. Try a short, warm shower about an hour before bed for a week. Don't make it a spa session, just a reset. Then step out, put on loose pajamas, and notice how your body feels in the chill air. Is there a difference in how quickly you can drift off? Chart it, share your results, and see if this simple hack changes your sleep depth. The shower hack isn't luxury's evolutionary biology, with a side of peace of mind. A shower can relax your body, but mental tensions may linger even after you're physically prepared for bed. Sometimes, it's unresolved worries or overlooked positives coloring your mood before sleep. What if resetting your last thoughts could affect your rest even more? The next technique uses gratitude to gently shift your mind into a peaceful state. The Gratitude Cooldown. It might sound sentimental, but ending your day with gratitude, counting small blessings, is not just about positive thinking. According to neuroscience research, it could be a direct ticket to better sleep. Here's the logic. Gratitude activates the brain's safety pathways, pushing out fight-or-flight hormones that keep you alert and anxious. In studies, people who keep a brief gratitude journal show increased parasympathetic, the body's way of slowing down the heart, deepening breath, and releasing tension. So how do you use this code? Right before bed, take 60 seconds to recall 3 minor things you appreciated during your day. Not the big goals, micro victories, pleasant sensations, or moments of kindness. Write them down or just say them quietly to yourself. You're not looking for perfection. Small, honest observations. Sleep scientists have tracked hundreds of adult insomniacs. Those who practiced nighttime gratitude had shorter sleep onset times, fewer middle-of-the-night wake-ups, and reported waking up in a calmer mood. It's one of the simplest cognitive behavioral therapy tips for sleep and requires almost zero effort or resources. I've spoken to founders, athletes, and parents who use gratitude cooldowns as their end-of-day ceremony. Many say it's more effective than supplements or apps, especially when practiced consistently. Try it for the next 7 nights. End each day by appreciating 3 small things and notice if it tweaks your sleep pattern, your morning mood, or even just your sense of safety as the lights go out. Your mind will start to associate the cooldown with sleep itself. Gratitude isn't just emotional insomnia's quiet antidote. Ending the day with gratitude helps settle your mind, but environmental noise can still disrupt your rest. Unexpected sounds, street noise, or house creaks often prevent deep sleep. Blocking out these distractions is vital for many. Our next tip reveals how a consistent, gentle soundscape can shield you from interruptions. The sound shield. If you're the type who can't sleep in silence or whose mind races at every tiny sound, using sound to shield your slumber is a game changer. But it's not about noise, it's about control. Research shows that predictable, gentle sounds, white noise, fan hum, soft rain, or distant thunder can mask sudden interruptions and create a cocoon for your sleep. These sounds reduce anxiety and help your brain ignore distractions. Try adding a sound shield to your sleep routine. Play white noise, recordings of rain or ocean waves at low volume. Sync your breath to the rhythm. Let thoughts drift away with each sound wave. Science, sound shields dampen the amygdala's vigilance, allowing deeper, more restorative sleep. Use nightly for a week and see if your rest improves. The sound shield turns the soundscape of night into a friendly ally for sleep. Masking background sounds calms your mind, but comfort depends on feeling safe and held. Some people need more than auditory cues. They need gentle pressure to ease anxiety. This physical comfort can enhance sleep quality powerfully. The next technique explores how a weighted blanket provides this sensation. The WHTD Blanket Boost. You've probably heard the buzz about weighted blankets marketed as miracle sleep solutions. But what's the real science behind that heavy hug? Why do so many swear by the comforting pressure? Weighted blankets work by delivering deep touch pressure, a steady, gentle weight that triggers your nervous system to chill out. This pressure increases the production of serotonin and melatonin while reducing cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. It communicates, "You're safe. You're protected." Researchers find that users fall asleep faster, wake less often, and feel more refreshed in the morning. Try wrapping yourself in a weighted blanket or layering a couple regular ones. Notice the physical sensations: muscle tension melting, heart rate slowing, breath deepening. Even if you don't have a weighted blanket, improvising with layers or pillows at your sides can mimic the effect. If you're a skeptic, start with 10 nights. Track how quickly you settle, what it feels like to wake up, and whether your nighttime anxiety drops. Many listeners report weighted blankets feel like a hug. Sometimes the smallest change makes the biggest impact. The principle is simple: deep comfort cues deep rest. A weighted blanket brings physical comfort and signals safety to the body, often helping you fall asleep faster. But even with deep comfort, stimulants like caffeine can quietly sabotage your rest. Many people don't realize how late afternoon coffee or tea lingers in the system, keeping the mind and body alert. If you're struggling with wakefulness for reasons you can't see, the next technique suggests simple discipline around what you drink and when. The caffeine cutoff timer. We love our morning coffee for its focus and warmth, but as any night owl knows, a late-day caffeine fix can sabotage deep rest for hours. Is it really that serious? The answer is yes. Caffeine's effects can last 6–8 hours, even in people who swear they're not sensitive. Here, what happens? Caffeine blocks adenosine, a neurochemical that builds sleep pressure. After that second or third cup in the afternoon, your brain's natural urge to rest is suppressed. But when caffeine wears off, the pressure rebounds, leading to fitful, shallow sleep or wired, middle-of-the-night wake-ups. There's a behavioral fix: set a caffeine curfew. Most sleep researchers recommend no coffee, tea, or energy drinks after 2 p.m., sometimes noon if you're especially sensitive. Instead, shift to water or herbal teas. Give your body at least 8 hours to clear out the stimulant. If you track your sleep for a week with and without evening caffeine, you'll often notice quicker time to fall asleep and fewer wired and tired nights. For long-term sleep health, this is one of the most evidence-backed changes, much more powerful than most supplements or hacks. Try it for a week: no caffeine after lunch. Chart your sleep, your dreams, and your energy. Modern sleep is fragile. Caffeine discipline is a cheat code worth mastering. The caffeine cutoff timer is a daily decision that resets your night's foundation for true rest. Cutting off caffeine in the afternoon sets the foundation for better sleep, but stress and tension often remain hidden in the muscles. When your body's wound-up energy refuses to fade after a long day, relaxation can require more than a change in diet. A physical routine may be the answer. The following technique uses stretching as a nightly ritual to train your body for true rest. The stretch and release. Ever catch yourself clenching your jaw, hunching your shoulders, or holding your breath at the end of a long day? Our muscles hold silent stories of tension that linger long after the stress of work, family, or even a difficult conversation. At bedtime, that tension blocks the pathway to deep, restorative sleep. The hack here is as old as it gets: a bedtime stretching ritual. You don't need a yoga mat or fancy routine, just a body and a willingness to let go. Sitting or lying in bed, start at your head and slowly move down to your toes, tensing and then relaxing each muscle group. Rotate your neck gently, shrug and drop your shoulders, reach up and feel your spine lengthen, wiggle your fingers and toes. Psychologists call this progressive muscle relaxation, and it's one of the most clinically proven insomnia fixes. When used nightly, it reduces the body's stress response, shortcuts racing thoughts, and trains your brain to link certain movements to sleep time. Studies show that even a 5-minute routine can speed up sleep onset and improve overall quality. In practice, people who struggle with restlessness or anxiety at night are the biggest fans after a single week. They often fall asleep faster or report fewer brain loops and midnight wake-ups. Many say they feel more settled and less jangled before drifting off. If you're new to stretching, start simple: neck, shoulders, spine, hands, and feet. Work from head to toe. Notice each area tense, then surrender. Visualize the stress leaving with every exhale. The ritual, not perfection, is the body for sleep anywhere, anytime. The military sleep method. What if falling asleep in under 2 minutes, even in stressful, uncomfortable environments, was possible? That's exactly what the U.S. military set out to solve during World War II. Their solution, refined for soldiers in war zones, is known as the military sleep method. Here's the process. Start by relaxing your face, letting your forehead, jaw, and eyes go completely slack. Next, allow your shoulders to drop and your arms to rest heavily by your sides. Take a slow breath and imagine the air gently releasing tension with every exhale. Work your way down. Let your legs grow limp. Feel your calves and feet sink into the surface beneath you. As you do this, bring your mind to a peaceful image, floating in a canoe on a calm lake or lying in a dark room on a soft velvet couch. If thoughts intrude, repeat a simple phrase, "Don't think," over and over with each slow breath. Why does it work? The method combines muscle relaxation, visualization, and cognitive quieting. Multiple military studies and sleep clinics have shown it can train even high-stress individuals to fall asleep in less than 2 minutes after weeks of practice. If you're prone to racing thoughts or high anxiety, or if you travel, work odd shifts, or are just sensitive to noise, it's worth trying. For a week, use this ritual at the start of every bedtime. Log how quickly you fall asleep, and notice if your body starts to anticipate relaxation faster with each night. The military sleep method is a rapid reset rest practice for anyone, anywhere. Give it a try and share your story. The military sleep method is fast, efficient, and designed for tough situations. Yet many people benefit from a slower, more systematic approach when winding down. If you have trouble relaxing different areas of the body one by one, it may help to be deliberate and gentle. The next technique, progressive relaxation, leads you step by step along this path, making rest arrive naturally. The progressive relaxation. Think of your body as a map filled with tension points, shoulders from keyboard strain, jaw from daily stress, and even toes that clench unconsciously. Progressive relaxation is like a reset button for these subtle knots, guiding you systematically from head to toe. Here's the technique. Start by focusing on your toes. Squeeze them tightly, hold for a few seconds, then let go and notice the difference. Move up to your calves, tense for a count of 5, release. Continue thighs, hips, stomach, chest, hands, arms, shoulders, neck, and finally your face. With every muscle group, it's tense, hold, then release and relax. This isn't just old-school wisdom. Clinical trials have shown that progressive muscle relaxation helps with sleep onset, reduces night waking, and lessens anxiety. It's common in both hospital sleep clinics and elite athlete routines. Some sleep therapists pair it with breathwork for a double impact. What's powerful is its simplicity. You don't need a guide or adjust your awareness of your body. Within 2 weeks of nightly practice, most people report falling asleep faster and waking up less often. You'll also find it useful outside bedtime, before public speaking, during stressful moments, and for travel nerves. If you haven't tried it before, begin tonight. As you lie down, work through each muscle from feet to face, slowly and with intention. Notice the release, not just softness, but a dropping away of effort and alertness. Progressive relaxation is your body's own bedtime story, written in breath and muscle. Test it for yourself. Progressive relaxation guides your body into deep comfort, easing the transition into sleep. But for some, a sensory cue, a scent, a feeling, can make falling asleep even easier. Nature offers a simple solution known by science and tradition: lavender. Our next method harnesses the power of smell to deepen relaxation and signal bedtime in a new way. The Lavender Trigger. You've heard about lavender as nature's relaxation remedy. But is it genuine science or fragrant fiction? Turns out, the answer is backed by years of sleep research and brain scans. Lavender, whether as essential oil, pillow spray, or tucked into a sachet, contains molecules proven to lower heart rate, decrease blood pressure, and calm anxious thoughts. When inhaled, it interacts with the limbic system, the part of the brain governing emotion and memory, sending a safe-to-rest signal to your nervous system. Aromatic sleep studies report that participants exposed to lavender fall asleep faster, spend longer in deep sleep, and wake up feeling more refreshed. Even insomniacs benefit from repeated use. Over time, the scent becomes a trigger for the body to enter sleep mode. How to use this cheat code: set a nightly ritual for lavender. Vaporize oil, tuck dried blossoms into your pillowcase, or use aromatherapy if you prefer. Pair the scent with slow, intentional breathing before bed. If you don't have lavender, visualization helps. Picture yourself walking through a summer field, the air full of soft purple fragrance, the hush of evening all around you. The goal isn't just a pleasant smell, it's a repeating cue, a mental anchor linking scent to sleep. As you continue night after night, your body will remember, lavender means rest. The Lavender Trigger is a shortcut for your senses to turn habit into biology and let sleep follow. Introducing the scent of lavender creates a calming cue for your mind and body, deepening the drive toward rest. But even the most soothing aroma can't overcome a room that's too warm for sleep. When comfort relies on temperature, simple adjustments matter more than you think. The next technique uses your environment, focusing on coolness to help your body drift naturally into deeper sleep. The cool room rule. If sleeping in a warm room makes you toss and turn, you're not imagining things. Sleep scientists have demonstrated that a cooler bedroom environment is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to achieve better, deeper sleep. Why? As the body prepares for rest, core temperature naturally drops. This physiological signal triggers the release of melatonin and slows metabolism, helping you slip into the first stages of sleep. If your room is too warm, your body's cooling system has to work overtime, leading to restless nights, frequent wake-ups, and vivid but unrefreshing dreams. Here's the cheat code. Set your thermostat between 16 to 19 degrees C, 61-66 degrees F, or open a window for fresh air. Use light, breathable sheetskin, linen, bamboo, and keep blankets handy for comfort. If you like, use a fan to stir air gently through the room. Studies comparing sleep in cool vs warm rooms find measurable improvements in sleep onset, night wakings, and next-day alertness among cool room sleepers. Some experts even say a chilly room can increase deep sleep stages by up to 15%. If you want to experiment, track your sleep for a week at different room temps. Notice the difference in how quickly you fall asleep, how deeply you rest, and how clear-headed you feel in the morning. The cool room rule is simple. A chill in the air tonight brings true rest by morning. Test it, track it, see what works for you. The visualization journey. Visualization isn't just a creative pastime, a scientific tool for channeling your mind into the realm of sleep. When managed intentionally, it builds a bridge between wakefulness and the slow drift of dreams. The method is simple. Pick a peaceful scene, a forest in gentle rain, waves rolling onto a quiet shore, a sunlit library, a cozy cabin. Close your eyes and immerse your senses. Feel leaf texture, sand warmth, hear distant birds, smell fresh earth or ocean salt. The objective is not perfection but gentle immersion. Science reveals why this matters. When you focus on positive imagery, the default mode network in your brain, the part responsible for rumination and mental chatter, quietens down. Sleep labs have shown that subjects using nightly visualization fall asleep more quickly and wake less throughout the night. You'll notice this technique is used by athletes, high performers, and therapists for insomnia alike. Even children learn to trade nightmares for calming imaginings. With practice, your sleep scene becomes a habitual invitation to relaxation. Try it for 7 nights. Choose a scene, enter its sensory world and guide your mind there as you settle into bed. If you wander, gently return. Note the difference in ease and morning clarity. The visualization journey is your mind's gentle gateway to rest, repeat, refine, and build your personal sleep landscape. Lowering the bedroom temperature sets the stage for restorative sleep, but sometimes rest is elusive despite the perfect environment. When the senses are satisfied, your mind can still wander or get stuck in worry or excitement. Visualization is one way to guide your thoughts gently, creating real calm from within. The next method builds a landscape inside your mind, helping your body truly let go. The Micro-Yawn Mimic. Yawning is one of the oddest reflexes, usually contagious, sometimes involuntary but always linked with the body's signal to rest. Here's the science. Yawning increases blood flow, cools the brain, and nudges the body into sleep readiness. Sleep researchers found that mimicking yawns, even when you don't feel sleepy, can jumpstart the relaxation response. Here's the hack. Intentionally yaw, open your mouth wide, inhale slowly and exhale as if sighing out tension. Repeat 3 or 4 times. You may notice your eyes water, your shoulders drop, and your breath deepen. This ritual triggers signals to your nervous system that it's time to wind down. Even if real yawns don't follow right away, the mere act of mimicking can prompt genuine ones. Many therapists teach patients the micro-yawn tool as part of insomnia treatment, and insomniacs report it as a gentle cue that makes sleep easier. Scientifically, this works by increasing the activity of neurotransmitters responsible for sleep and by cooling the cortex. The more you yawn, the faster your pre-sleep routine becomes effective. Try it for a week. Build yawning into your lights-off ritual, and observe the difference in sleep onset and morning clarity. The Micro-Yawn Mimic is a playful, biological nudge toward nightly rest. Try it tonight and see the results. Visualization helps redirect mental energy and keeps rest within reach, even on tough nights. But sometimes, sleep cues are hidden in simple, automatic actions like yawning, which signals both mind and body to relax. If sleep is close but not quite there, you might need an extra nudge. Our next technique uses a quirky but powerful trick, mimicking yawns to trigger your own natural sleep response. The pillow flip. There's a tiny comfort ritual shared by sleepers worldwide, the pillow flip. You know that moment. You turn your pillow and find the cool underside just waiting for your cheek. This isn't just a habit or preference. Temperature shifts can cue the body for deeper and faster sleep. Here's the science. As you lie in bed, your pillow absorbs heat. The reverse side stays cooler. When you flip it, the sudden wave of cool air against your skin drops your surface temperature, signaling the brain's sleep pathways. Researchers have measured that people who change pillow position report falling asleep faster and achieving higher sleep efficiency. Beyond science, there's psychology. The flip acts as a ritual reset, a physical cue that the next stage of true rest about to begin. Sleepers who repeat small comfort habits train their bodies for consistency and depth. If you wake up in the night, flip again. Experiment with pillow fabrics, cotton, bamboo, or gel layers. Some sleep products now market dedicated cool side tech because sleepers intuitively crave the temperature drop. Tonight, notice the signal, feel the difference, let your body respond. The flip is more than a gesture. It's a nightly nudge into your own sleep sanctuary. The pillow flip is your personal reset. Try it, track your sleep quality, and embrace the comfort of small rituals. So each night, the act of sleep becomes an experiment, a private ritual where cycles and stories, light and silence, breath and comfort all shape our experience. There's no single answer, only a collection of gentle edges where rest might begin. If you listen closely, you'll find each technique reveals something not just about sleep, but about surrender and self-care. In the spaces between each hack, a new kind of night waits for you. Sleep, in the end, is the story you choose to write.